Hello and welcome back to the Algeria series. Before I start this video, I want to mention that it didn't really go to plan. Halfway through, I got detained by the police in Constantine and wasn't let out until 7 hours later. So it kind of ruined the video. But at least I have the first half to show you. And after showing you that, perhaps I'll go over a little bit about what happened with the police. And this is my last vlog from Algeria, so enjoy what I've got from it, and I'll explain in just a moment. Hello and welcome to Constantine, one of the oldest cities in Africa and a must visit here in Algeria. Today I'm going to be exploring the city, which is absolutely spectacular in a geographic sense. I'll get to that a little bit later, but right now I'm outside the Prince Abdelkader Mosque, one of the largest on the continent and in the country. So I'm gonna go a bit closer. Breathtaking place this mosque is. Looking at the inside, the pillars, the intricate patterns, the sound of the man singing so peaceful. Prince Abdelkader was one of the heroes of the Algerian independence movement, and this mosque was one of the first Islamic schools set up in independent Algeria. Shopping streets in Constantine, French Street. You can see the buildings and many shops on either side. Some different traditional sweets here in the shop. Coming out of one of the city's main shopping streets, where I didn't get to film as much as I'd have liked because it's very narrow, there's a lot of people. And behind me you can see the gorge that's opened up. Amazing views. Famous bridge, highest in the city I believe. We're gonna cross it in just a moment and take a closer look. But here you can see your first glimpses of what is an incredible sight for a city to be built on. Having walked along the gorge just a little bit, we're now here by the Sidi M. Sid Bridge, Constantine's most iconic monument. More views of the city on the other side of the gorge, and you can see how the road bends and through underneath the stone that it was once built on. Last night I actually came here as well. It's all lit up. I've come back in the day because you can really appreciate the views across the city. I think one of the craziest things about Constantine is just how low the wall is before the nearly 200-meter drop down the gorge. As you can see, it's up to my thigh, lower than my waist. And the further I walk here, the lower the wall gets. I'll take a quick clip of how it looks, and if you're standing here in person it might make you feel a bit queasy if you suffer from vertigo. Really a moment of disbelief that a city could be built on such sheer, crazy cliff faces with a dramatic gorge running through the middle. It's like the center of the earth. Another viewpoint. Constantine is full of these, as you've seen in a couple of my shots. Moments ago we were standing over here, and I've now crossed the famous bridge, and we're walking up to the monument that's at the top on this side, but you can get some more views of the sheer cliff face that drops down to the bottom of the gorge. We're now here at the top by the monument aux Morts, which represents those killed during World War I from Algeria. Views of all the landscapes surrounding Constantine on this side of the city from here. You can see other villages and outside towns, and get an idea for what the green strip of northern Algeria looks like outside of the urban centers. It's only around 15-16 degrees. Crazy to think that just a week and a half ago I was in Adra, Timimoun, in the Sahara, 43 degrees, 42 degrees in the middle of the day, the hottest temperature I'd ever experienced. And then now I'm back here in the north, experiencing what I could call British weather at the moment. So just shows the diversity of the country itself, and you can come to a desert city like Ardea, or perhaps a gorge city like Constantine, or go to the south and see all different people groups in Timimoun. What a hugely vast country with different experiences to be found in every single city. So shortly after the clips that you just watched at the end there, I was walking to another part of the city with the two guys who were helping to show me around. One of them was my host and one of them was one of his relatives. And we were crossing a bridge, passing the old city, and there were some children playing football. I took out my camera and just did a shot panning from the children playing football all the way up to the buildings in the background, which looked quite cinematic, which is why I wanted to get the shot. Little did I know that one of those buildings was a police station. Clearly wasn't a police station from the outside. It looked like all the rest of the buildings. Only after I finished the clip and started to continue walking did a man start running after me and shouting, "Police, police, police," and grabbed my hand and told me to come to the police station. He couldn't speak any English apart from police. Then the two guys who were helping to show me around came along, and there was a bit of a scene, and we all got taken to the police station by this undercover police officer. Then, once in the station, I was not released until 7 hours later. They thought I was a journalist. Then I don't really know what else happened. They were just talking in Arabic for hours and hours and hours. Basically, it's a really long story, and I don't want to bang on about the negative because that's not me. I don't do that on my channel. I've had many crazy experiences traveling, which I never often even speak about in my videos, just purely because I don't want to reflect badly upon a place, but the reality is I was filming this video and I have to tell you the reason why I couldn't finish it. So there you go. It was because I got detained by the police. They wanted to ask me loads of questions. They kept me for a long time. They were probably quite aggressive, to be honest. They were quite rude in the beginning, but eventually they came round. They did like me as I just sat there and tried to smile and not get too flustered by the whole situation. At one point, I actually thought that they were going to arrest me for one reason or another, because they really weren't pleased at all with me filming. I mean, obviously there's manifestations, there's protests going on in Algeria at the moment. It's not the perfect climate to be filming, so I should take responsibility for being the one running around with my gimbal, my camera and my microphone. Of course, I look like a journalist, it's understandable, so I have nothing against any one of those police officers. You're just doing your job at the end of the day, and I know things in Algeria, they're not the same as other countries, and every nation has their own way of doing things, and sometimes when you travel, these things happen. Unfortunately, I got caught up in a situation which eventually resolved itself, and I'm fine. I had an amazing time in Algeria. It was an incredible trip, moments I will never forget, and wow, I recommend it highly to many people. I do hope in the future it will be easier for tourists to get visas to Algeria, because it's a wonderful country, has massive potential. Look at Morocco, look at Tunisia. Imagine if Algeria was open for tourism, there would be an abundance of places to have thriving businesses. And from Algeria's point of view, and also from tourist point of view, an endless list of sights to see. Hopefully it happens one day.